Hey, it's Arsalan. Thank you very much for listening to Shahnameh Quest so far. Today's episode marks a special moment because it's the one I've decided to make the Season 1 finale of this podcast. If you've listened through every episode so far, you'll know just how expansive these early stories from the Shahnameh are. Not only that, you've also seen how they relate to one another, generationally, thematically, and structurally. Evolving through the reigns of Qumars, Hushang, Tahmures, Jamshid, Zahak, Feridun, and most recently Manucher, the Shahnameh has now become a defined world. Ferdowsi has given us the full spectrum of human experience: glory and tragedy, courage and failure, magic and divinity, love and loss, war and peace. As an audience, feeling the highs and lows of all the kings, heroes, and regular people is what gives the Shahnameh life. I hope that by now, these stories have resonated with you personally. As we move forward, you may notice the epic change substantially in its tone or content. That is all by design. If you remember in my introduction episode, I said that the Shahnameh is divided into 3 ages: the mythical age, the heroic age, and the historical age. Although experts assert that the mythical age ended with the death of King Feridun, I've decided for the purposes of this podcast to end Season 1 with the death of King Manucher. In my opinion, the transition from Manucher to his son King Nozar, who we'll begin Season 2 with, represents a starker contrast, as you'll soon discover. I believe Manucher's reign neatly ties up any loose ends thematically and plot-wise. The scores are largely settled, the family dynasties are clear, and the heroic cycle of Rostam is nicely set up for the future. Further, and most importantly, I decided to end Season 1 here because it is just before the introduction of Iran's arch-nemesis, King Afrasiyab of Turan. As we continue, Afrasiyab will be a name you hear very often, and I wanted Season 2 to mark his pivotal entrance because it fundamentally changes everything. In short, I want you, the listener, to think of all the stories we've experienced together up until now as the mythical beginning of the Shahnameh, with this transition marking our journey into the heroic middle. We will be in the middle for a long time, so take this moment to reset and recharge as you need. Okay, now that you know why this is the end of Season 1, let's quickly dive back into the very important final few moments of King Manucher's life. We last left off with Manucher passing along his parting words of wisdom to his son, Prince Nozar, fated to succeed Manucher and become Iran's 8th king. Manucher urges Nozar to stay strong and righteous, and to use Sam, Zal, and Rostam to protect Iran from its enemies in Turan. But one thing I didn't mention in the last episode is that Manucher actually gets very specific about who Nozar should beware. You see, right now, Turan is ruled by King Pashang, who has been waiting patiently to attack Iran at its next vulnerable moment. Manucher senses that Pashang may use this transition to make his move. But the real threat, Manucher warns, is Pashang's son, Prince Afrasiyab. He tells Nozar that Afrasiyab will be his bane, and that he should exercise great caution against this menacing force. With those parting words, Manucher's reign concludes Season 1, and King Nozar's reign will begin Season 2. So now, let me say for the first time, tune in next season to find out whether Nozad has the character and strength to stop this Turanian menace from wreaking havoc on Iran. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it or leave a review. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more Shahnameh quests.